Hello, Carlos here. This is Carl's Garden Veg. So it's nice to have you with us, and we're going to get on with a few tasks today. So some of the tasks we're going to get on with, first of all, to my right, there's going to be a preparation of my carrot bed. So I got a sandbox you've probably seen before. So I basically kind of get that prepared. I'll show you how I go about doing that, and then how I get the cored out sand and then replace it with compost, and then plant the carrot seed when it's ready to be planted in there. Not ready yet for carrots, another 2 or 3 weeks yet for me personally, but getting the bed ready for that, because what's happening at the moment, right, I'm storing a lot of stuff on here and I just want to stop storing stuff on here, and I know if the carrot bed's prepared, I'm not going to be dumping stuff on it, you know, as I seem to be moving things around all the time at the moment, and I don't want to be doing that because it's time consuming and it's not practical to do so. So anyway, let's crack on with this. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do first, okay? So we'll just put you down. So what we have, guys, is my carrot box, all right? And I've just basically raked it over, made sure that it's flat. This carrot box is lined with a little bit of it's like I don't know, the weed membrane stuff. It is really, I could have used something better than that, but when I did it at the time, to remove all this sand, that was a bit of a nightmare. So I'm just getting it all level, and what I'm going to do then is wet it. So I got a couple of these watering cans full of water. And leave it soak in first. It's all running down to the one end at the moment, so that shows it's not level. So that's something I have to do a little bit of adjustment on, I think. So you can see it's not actually going into the sand very good at the moment, because there's a bit of soil mixed up with it. But once I level it off a little bit, it'll start to soak in then. It's pretty damp in here anyway. It'll be just what it does when the sand is damp. This is not for the seeds. This is just basically when the sand is damp, it protects it from, when you're coring it out, it stays in the actual core. It can be a bit of a pain really otherwise. So just put this, change it over. Just water it all in. And it'll soak in. It takes about 5 or 6 of these. So I'll bring you back once I've done it. So guys, welcome back. So this bed now, I've had a good soak in. It had 7 actually. 7 watering cans full. And now it's settled. It's nice and, you know, soaked right in. And now all I'm going to be doing, I was going to core, right? I've done that every year, but this year I think I'm going to try just slightly different and get more holes in without coring by dibbing. So I'm going to dib, make a bit of an hole, do another dib down the same depth, and then to make another hole. That's long enough for a carrot, see? And then I'll just follow that pattern all the way up, and that's what we can do. Go faster batteries time. Before I go on though, just to let you know, so when I fill these with compost, the compost I got is the stuff I'm using outside, which is a sieved compost, a green waste compost that I'm going to sieve, and I'll show you that process before I fill them as well, just to see, you can see the different stages of how I go about growing my carrots in carrot boxes or raised beds like this. So let's crack on. So as you're doing this, right, so I'm boring the holes in now. As you're doing it, sometimes you put the button in and you make the hole, and then you've got to be careful because sometimes you can see the other hole being pushed in. I suppose that's the benefit of the core method. You're taking the soil out rather than trying to push it to one side. So, but it's still going to work. Just got to make sure that your holes are nice and firm, if you know what I mean. The walls of the hole are solid, so when you put your compost in, it's not going to collapse in on itself, and that obviously makes a big difference then. So I'll just do these couple up by here now. Just beard it down and just wiggle it a bit. It just cause the hole a little bit better for you, you know. This will be the last row now. Try to go down the same depth. Yeah, I got a marker there, I have, to be honest. That's what I'm trying to do. Not always easy. But I've been growing in this sand for about 8 years now. And every now and again I take it out and wash it. You know, so it helps that. There's like give it a wash. Like, but there now I can see it's not really wet on the one end, but it'll be okay by the time I put the compost in it. That'll be fine. So I'll just give you a quick show of what's going on inside. So that's what we got so far, guys. You can see that, can't you? There's 27 holes there. I could go a little bit closer, but that's perfect, that is. And that's what will, when I put my seed in and that in now, when I put the compost in, seed on top, the seed that I'll put in are called sweet candle, and they'll grow straight as a die in there. So that's the idea. And then these will be my last to harvest, believe it or not. I won't be harvesting these until about November, December, and even later than that, depending on how, you know, how much we eat really, and how much that I sell, of course. So yeah, that's basically how I do it. Close up inside the holes. There we are. So right, next stage is show you sieving. Let's do that. So what I've got basically, this compost in the barrel, I know you can't see my face, guys, but this compost in the barrel is the stuff that I've had outside for 18 months. It's basically green waste compost from a local landfill site. Years ago, it always used to be bits of plastic in it, but it's changed dramatically now, to be honest, and it's much better. So what I do is get my sieve. I think this is a, it's a 3mm sieve or 4mm sieve. All I'm doing is just getting the compost. Again, this is outside, it's got roots and everything in it, right? You can see there. And I'll put that back on the compost, but I'll show you what I do now. So basically all I'm doing is sieving it, right, all the way through. A bit damp, wet it is, so it's a bit difficult to go through the sieve, but persevere. You know, you haven't got to use green waste compost, you can use any compost, but it's always good to recommend to sieving it, because look at this, you know, you've got big chunks of wood. As soon as the carrot root, the tap root, hits that, that's what causes a forking, possibly. Doesn't always happen, but it can happen. So you want to stop yourself doing that. So I'm going to fill it up again. Again, there's roots and all sorts in here. Well, I think they're actually stinging nettle roots. But they'll go in my compost, they will. And I'll sieve this through. And you'll see what I'm left with now. It's amazing. Good stuff, good stuff. So it's been sitting out there for 18 months. There's hardly any bits and wood in here, really. Broken down well. There we go. So that's what I'm left with. And it's so damp and moist, it is beautiful. But that's not the end. This is what I do now. Just get a bit of vermiculite and riddle it through. I'm only doing this because I got bits of everything in there falling in there, so I just want to make sure that everything is fine enough. There's no bits of wood in it because I've had bits of wood falling in it from wood chip I have. Chuck that in there for the compost. Mix it up. It creates a bit of air and moisture retention in there. No, don't put much in, just a bit. Now this is ready to put into the holes. Let's do that. So we're back at the bed, and all I'm going to basically do now is I'm going to fill each hole with the compost that we got. Yeah, there's the compost we prepared. I'll probably have to do a batch more, but I'm only going to do this for demonstration purposes at the moment, and I'll fill the rest up again off video. So I got my holes, they're all sorted. I always start from the back. There, see, that fits in there lovely. Okay, so basically now what I'm going to do is fill that with compost. So I'll just get a couple of handfuls of compost. You could bet if you want a little bit of like a funnel. I did have one, but I can't find it anywhere. And what I do is once it's looking like if it's going to be full, I just tap it down slightly. And then that's in ready. And I do the same with all of them. So I got these little cups ready. I got these, which are old plastic ones where I cut the bottom off, and they'll fit in each of those then as we go around. So that's how I basically do it. I'll demonstrate one more for you, right? So we do one more. So I'll just cut the bottom off this one. A second. Just cut the bottom off. Some of these got cracks on them. They're very, very brittle. I've had them for, I think this batch was about six years ago. So, yeah, so it's lasted a while. I want to make sure we cut it properly there. Like that. Just grab that from there. So that's what you're left with. And that sits in the hole. Like so. Right, and then I just fill the hole, tamp it down, tamp it down, tamp it down. So, just keep it flat. And that way then, when I water in, the water will actually go into the actual cup. Because I got like a spray water I do to get the seeds going. But once you actually, they start going, the carrots, you can just water with a normal sort of like shower head hose on them. So let's crack on with these. Go faster back this time, I think. For 150 something like that. So that's sweet. Widen the top of the floor. There we are. So they're all nice and firm now already. So it's just filling them with compost now. And that's the job. And then I'll keep them watered, keep them damp, and then next 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, well 2 weeks actually, beginning of March I'll be putting my carrots in, and then put a glass section over the top of here, or perspex, and that will keep a bit of warmth in to help them germinate. And as and when they germinate, that'll be it. Just 2 or 3 seeds per station, and then cut the weak ones out. Then don't pull it up. Just cut the top off it. It'll die off naturally then, the little seedlings. So when you've got 2 or 3 seedlings growing in one thing, you know, you can leave them grow and have 3 carrots, but you're not going to get as big, and they're not going to be as wide as they would if you left 1 in there. But when you put 3 in there and they want the 3 to grow, or you want 1 to grow rather, cut the other 2, just cut the tops off them. Be careful you don't cut them all, obviously, and then they'll die off and you just have 1 seedling in there to grow, and that will grow right down straight, and you'll have perfectly straight carrots. And that's how I grow my perfectly straight carrots in my carrot box, which is this. I've been doing this for 8 years now, so it's not my idea. This is what others do. Others do it. I think if you look at Tony at Simplified Garden, he's got a big raised bed on the outside, and he's got one of his videos that shows you how to call them out, which I usually do as well. But this time I'm trying something a little bit different, and it's a bit quicker doing it this way. And I got a few obviously beds in the Nebraska cage, that I might use one of them for carrots as well, so we'll see how it goes with that. So yeah, just put some compost on, as you know, in the holes, making sure it goes right down. And what I'll do is just get a dibber, not like whack it in, just compress it slightly till it goes a bit firm, and then fill up the rest, the top, like that. And then when I'm ready to plant, I just put a little indentation, plant the seeds in, and you're ready to go. So that's how I grow my carrots. We'll crack on with the next one now. Here we are. So that's all of them filled up, and I said the glass will go on top of them now when I've planted the seed, and they'll be sorted in, ready for the growth of the carrot. So yeah, awesome. Right, guys, I'm gonna leave it there at the moment. I've got a few other things I need to do, but I'm not gonna film it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.